My name is Sava Jankovic. I'm the sports editor for The Silhouette. I'm here with Jelani Smith, head of soccer operations at Forge FC. I've got 5 questions for you.
Okay.
How did this whole Forge story start for you?
I think you'd have to start from me meeting Bobby. So the genesis of me and Bobby's relationship was obviously Coach was a coach at his academy in Sigma, Mississauga. I was coming back from a stint in Europe, bouncing around, and I went out to Sigma looking for a trampoline, we'll say, to get back into the North American market. And Coach Bobby told me about this project coming in the CPL. That was back in 2017. Originally, there were some talks or speculations about potential start in 2018. So I played a year with Sigma in League One in the hope to make a jump to the CPL, or probably use it to just come back and go to the USL MLS market. And then Coach talked to me and pulled me aside and said, listen, you could be a player here and you can thank me in 10 years or hate me, or you could jump on the management side. And I think at 28, 29 years old, I looked back and said, I think there's more longevity and success in being off the field. So I joined our staff there, and the rest is history.
So over those past 5 years that you've been here, obviously club started in 2019, 5 CPL seasons, 4 wins. What do you think has changed the most over the past 5 years?
To be fair, I don't think much has changed. The expectation since day one has always been championships. Coach, the staff, the executives have always been consistent in that sense, as we consider ourselves one of the flagship teams in the league here, and I think we have the titles and the success to back that up. But we've been very consistent from our style of play to how we move both on and off the field, what we expect from our guys, or our fans present to us, and what we expect across the league. So I think for us, it's been very consistent in the message and what we've produced.
Obviously, Hamilton being a big city of 500,000-600,000 people, there were some smaller clubs on the side, such as Hamilton United. But do you think Hamilton really needed a soccer club such as Forge? Because as soon as you guys started, you had a huge crowd, big followings, almost every game now. Do you think that Hamilton needed something like this?
For sure. I think Hamilton has the highest concentration of youth soccer clubs in Ontario. And I think bringing professional football to Hamilton, it definitely brought a bit of unification to the ecosystem here, right? So I think having Forge, having a pro club, it also is an inspiration for youth players in Hamilton from both men and women's sides of the game here, right? Let them know that it's that close to touching, or it's an arm's length, we'll say, of you being a pro, where you can grow up and see the Kyle Becker, the Tristan Borges, the Benny Badibangas, the Nana Ampomas in your backyard playing here, and knowing that you're that close to grasping inspiration.
With all this progress that we've seen, since Forge started, where do you possibly see the club progressing even more within the next 5 years?
I think you'll see our club become more competitively in the international fixtures and can championships. I think this year we took a large step and a positive, aggressive step in Can Champs, beating Montreal over 2 legs, and then obviously tying TFC over aggregate, but unfortunately coming up a bit short on away goals there. But I think building our club to have sustainable success in CONCACAF will be one of the goals. And I think as our salary cap in the league increases, as a symptom of that will be better players, as more Canadian talent comes through the pipelines from League One, and as the league expands, I think you'll see us have the ability to play and compete more on those global stages.
And you mentioned CONCACAF. I know 2 years ago, Forge did play against Cruz Azul, and they did go to the Big Azteca in Mexico. What difference do you see within CONCACAF compared to CPL?
That's a very intricate question, we'll say, right? Because you're looking at a lot of the powerhouses named Cruz Azul. You played Chivas here just recently this past winter. Those are clubs that have been established for a century almost, right? And I think having an established culture, having the longevity and tenure they've had as the club, it's easier to to learn off of those experiences, to see their infrastructure, how their club is ran, how they play, how their movements day to day on the ground. And obviously the budget is it's exponentially more for the CONCACAF clubs we face, especially in Chivas and Cruz Azul. But I think we're closing the gap. You see the performance that we have, and look at the money they had on the field there in terms of what they're available with and resources. It's an achievement for us, right? Because if you watch that game, you weren't played off of the pitch. It was still very competitive. I think that gap is getting closer because you see our performance versus Cruz Azul was a bit more mature in advance a year when you play against Chivas. But I think the drastic difference is just the money. over the overall money and the budget that they have available to them is difficult when you're going up against a team that's loaded in regards to those clubs like Chivas and Cruz Azul.
And last question, over your time here, what is the most entertaining game that you can say you've witnessed Forge play?
Last year's final.
Last year's final.
Hands down, that was a whirlwind. That was one of the best live events that I've had a chance to witness. I mean, the roller coaster of emotions, ups and downs, the Ali Musi scoring a wonder, and us coming back in overtime. It's an amazing achievement. I think that was for sure one of my favorite CPL moments and almost in Forge in general.
Jelani, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for talking to us, and keep it locked to the sill.